We are now talking to Louisiana-Monroe outside linebacker recruit, Brett Drillette. What's going on, Brett?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, I'm not going to pat you on the head like Mr. Speedy Petey, and I'm not going to call you a shark because I don't know much about you. Anyways, how are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
Pretty good. I mean, it's basically been normal for us. We've basically been going by the same thing. The only thing that's been different is getting out of the house and practice and all that. So, in school, obviously. So, it hasn't been too bad.
Well, it's been bad for me, man. And when it first came out, I really thought that I had to hide. It was like you know how when you have an earthquake, people tell you to go under your desk and hide under your desk. Well, that's what I was doing in the beginning of this whole thing. I was hiding under my desk, and people would see me. Where are you? I'm hiding under my desk. But I don't want anybody to laugh at that because that's serious. I'm really, really serious. I really thought I was going to catch this stuff. We had Speedy over here. He couldn't go home to his grandparents because he was afraid that his grandfather was going to get sick. So he was like hanging out and sleeping here. I mean, seriously, at the studio. So it's not good. But anyways, Brett, as you guys know, we are talking to Louisiana-Monroe outside linebacker recruit, Brett Drillette. Now, Brett, why? I want to know why you picked Louisiana-Monroe. I'm sure there were a couple of schools that were very interested in you. And what was the decision making of going to Louisiana-Monroe?
I think the main decision, what it came down to was it was the best because I don't want to go very far. Just because I like seeing my family and all that, and I want my family to come see my games. And they play the coolest schools all the time. They play I don't even know how many Power Fives a year, and obviously I don't think they're going to be able to do that this year because the conference and all that, or, the COVID stuff shut it down. But I think it's just a really cool fit.
So you're entering the Sun Belt Conference, which has produced some NFL players. They've had some teams that have produced NFL players, but again, hasn't been one of the steadily awesome non-Power 5 conferences. But again, they've been rising. They've had a lot of decent teams lately. Is there any one opponent you're most looking forward to playing? I know you mentioned to me when we were off air that you're from Texas. I don't know if that
Yes.
goes into the thought process there. Is there one opponent you're most looking forward to playing against?
I hope. I think in 2023, maybe I may be wrong about that, but they're playing A&M, and so I grew up loving A&M, so that's a opponent I'm definitely most excited about.
As you guys know, we are talking to Louisiana-Monroe outside linebacker recruit Brett Drillette.
Hey, Brett, how you doing? It's Mark Kelly here, Worldwide Sports Radio.
Hey.
Playing in the Sun Belt Conference, and for up here on Long Island, it's really not that much. Don't get that much publicity. What could you tell us about what you liked about that conference? Some of the other teams that you're looking forward to playing against.
Well, I mean, it's I guess about the conference. Honestly, I haven't researched much about college football, but I just know that they have the really cool campus. They have the coolest games, and the Sun Belt. I haven't really researched all of them. I mean, basically at the Power Fives and all that when I started growing up as a kid, but I just kind of picked it off of how cool the games are and how close it is, and that was my main decision, I guess.
So what kind of athlete were you in high school? Were you just a football player, or did you run track, baseball? What other sports do you like to play?
I play football, and I'm not going to run track the senior year, but that's basically what I did. I ran varsity track last year, and then I just got on. I was on varsity junior year for football.
So if you had to create either a Madden player or an NBA 2K player, would it be yourself, or would you create somebody else?
It would be me. It would be me. He wants to be me. Seriously. Look at me. I mean, I've got the muscles. I got the body tone. He wants to be me. I mean, seriously. I'm just kidding.
I think.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, when I do make Madden players, it's definitely it's prototypical QB scrambler.
You know who you look like? You look like Luke Kuechly. He does, doesn't he?
The linebacker.
Yeah, he does.
Have you gotten that before?
He does. He looks like Luke. I mean, I actually met Luke a couple of years ago at an event that I went to, and you look a lot like him. You're almost the same size as him, too. Luke is about 6'4", you're 6'3". Luke's a nice guy, too, by the way. Very, very interesting guy. One of the greatest linebackers we've seen in this era. He really has been. And you look like him. You really do. Do you play like him? That's the question. 3-star recruit. Do you play like him?
Well, I mean, obviously he plays the I'm going to hate myself if I'm wrong, but he does play the middle linebacker position.
Well, you're not wrong.
And, I mean, I guess since I really haven't in high school, I'm a defensive end position, but it's kind of it's a different kind of defensive end position, I feel like. And I feel like, I mean, I could play like him if I got set in the backfield.
As you guys know, we are talking to Louisiana-Monroe outside linebacker recruit, Brett Drillette. Now, Brett, I look at the linebacker position. We were talking to a safety yesterday from Notre Dame. Who did we speak to yesterday?
Nolan Ziegler.
Nolan Ziegler, who was a 4-star recruit. You're a 3-star recruit, and he's a 6'4", 205-pound safety. And a safety that big who can run, I think he could run. He said
4.5, I think.
I think the fastest he ever ran it was a 4.47. Okay. I think it was. And when you look at the position, and you guys are bigger, stronger, and faster. When you look at your position right now as an outside linebacker, what is it going to take for you to move to that next level after college? Do you see yourself as a linebacker? You have to run a 4.5, be between 225, 230 to make it to the NFL, because there was a lot of guys that I've talked to over the years, and you're still young, and you still haven't even filled in your body. It's crazy how tall and how big you guys are at your age. How old are you, 16, 17 years old?
17.
You're a baby, okay? You haven't even filled into your body. I mean, I remember, who was the guy from the Jets who went from Ohio State? Darren
Lee.
Darren Lee, I remember he was, a lot of people didn't know where he was. He was a midi kind of guy. He was a safety, linebacker. When you look at your position, and you can actually, if you stay at 215, 6'3", and you put a little bit more speed to your back, how fast do you run your 40?
I've ran a 4.69.
A 4.69. If you can even go down to a 4.5, you can actually be moved to the safety position. Would you think of yourself as maybe moving to the safety position in college, or maybe even going to the pros?
As a kid, I actually always wanted to play safety. I mean, the thing is, I was just never good at all. I was like the worst kid on the team every time.
Yeah, but you're different now. You're athletic, and you're bigger and stronger than you were when you were a kid.
Is that why you chose to create a athletic scrambling type quarterback when you play Madden?
Exactly.
I mean, you should be now. You know, but you should have a safety that can go out and get the quarterbacks and kind of dominate a defense. It's what you should be doing here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I usually make DBs on Madden too.
There you go.
See, I think that with you and talking to Ziegler, you guys are practically the same size, same weight, same everything. And Ziegler was telling you run the 40 in practically the same time as Ziegler. Why couldn't you play safety? And with being that you're a 3-star recruit, you're practically what he is as a player. And I was reading a little bit about you. You have the skills that he has for a guy that can get to the quarterback. And he was the safety that says he loves to hit the quarterback. I mean, you could play multiple positions, and I think that would be very, very important with the NFL. And you see what the Patriots have done over the last couple of years, the Saints have done, and even Arizona now with some of the players that they've maneuvered from safety to linebacker. I mean, you can be a multiple position type of player that NFL teams would be interested. And you're young, man. You haven't even filled your body yet. I think you could do it, especially what I've seen. I've seen some video of you. You've got speed in the backfield, and you can do things. I don't care what you did when you were a kid. I mean, you're a lot bigger and you're a lot stronger and a lot faster than you were when you were a kid. I mean, you're a completely different behemoth going into college football, and being that you're a 3-star recruit, and you're going to a school that a lot of people don't talk about. Louisiana-Monroe, nobody even really talks about. It is a D1 school, but they're kind of hidden away from some of the SEC teams when you talk about the Florida Gators, or even Big Ten teams like the Ohio State Buckeyes or somebody like that nobody, or Alabama or Clemson, nobody's talking about, hey, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the college, Louisiana-Monroe. I mean, nobody talks about them, but they've had a lot of good NFL players come from that school, and they're probably one of the one of those schools that really hide away some of the talent that we've seen come out of the second, third, and fourth round players that become Pro Bowl, All-Pro players. So when you look at your style of game and your transition of you as a player, going to play college football where there's a completely different way of playing, spread offense, and your style of game where you like to hit the players, you like to get to the quarterback, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a leader for Louisiana-Monroe, or do you see yourself as a guy that kind of is going to transition his game on what the coach wants him to do?
Personally, I mean, I was a lead by example guy, I guess, this year, and but I'll do whatever the coach says. I'll do whatever it takes to take me to the top. The thing that excites me is that well, as a freshman in high school, it was fun to like work that hard and get to move up to that spot and get to move out to that spot, and I feel like that'd be fun in college. So I just can't wait for that experience.
Yeah, I remember when Marcus Coleman, a guy who was drafted by the Jets in the 5th round out of Texas Tech.
I remember him.
They had a position called Red Raider, and he was about 6'2", 210, and he was a guy that was drafted as a linebacker, and he wound up being one of the best best corner guys in New York Jet history.
Yeah.
One of the only.
That's not saying much, by the way.
Well.
That's not saying much. That's scary. Marcus Coleman is one of the best defensive players ever for the New York Jets. That's scary as a Jet fan. Oh, my God.
One of only two.
Oh, you got me scared now.
One of only 2 guys to intercept 2 passes in overtime.
Mm-hmm. That's scary,
only
too.
happened twice. But that's what we're talking
about. Why are you trying to hurt me? I'm talking about the Jets. This guy is starting to make me think that the Jets have been such a bad organization over the years.
I did not.
Yeah, you're saying Marcus Coleman. Marcus
Coleman was good.
Oh, give me a break. Marcus Coleman would be forgotten if you weren't a Jet fan. Yeah, this kid doesn't know who Marcus Coleman is. Do you know who Marcus Coleman is?
No, I doubt most kids his age.
All right. You know who Ray Lewis is?
Well, come on.
Okay. So
Marcus Coleman and Ray Lewis.
That's what I'm saying.
Just a little bit of a difference there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you look at Marcus Coleman,
it's not a comparison.
I mean, if you're trying to compare some of the greats for Baltimore, I can name about 6 or 7.
Compare him to like Everson Walls, maybe, or like
a
good player, but not a
Walls.
Hall of Famer.
I interviewed Walls. Yeah. I mean, to me,
Coleman wasn't bad. He was very, very good.
Yeah,
corner.
but that's scary when you think about the Jets and you're talking about Marcus Coleman and you look at the Baltimore Ravens.
But why I brought him up was he's a guy that has that type of body.
I understand what you're saying.
Right.
It just scares me that you're bringing him up when it really scares the hell out of me when you're talking about my Jets.
And by the way, 5 guys have been taken from UL Monroe since 2000 in the NFL draft. So you can be chosen, and you can make a career out of it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the kid, you look at his game. Now, who scouted you besides Louisiana-Monroe? Was there any SEC teams or Big Ten teams that were looking at you before you decided to go to Louisiana-Monroe?
I had a little bit. TCU, I guess, a little bit. I talked to the A&M coach some, Baylor, just some of the schools, but that's pretty much it.
You had the heart. You had the heart of a lion. You know what? Mm-hmm. I don't care about any of those teams. I'm going to Louisiana-Monroe. I'm going to kick some ass over there against Power 5 teams, and they're going to all regret it when I go in the first round, middle of the round, and I become one of the best outside linebackers in the NFL. That's what you're saying, right? Am I right or wrong?
That's the plan.
That is the plan. I figured it. You see, I'm good. I should be his agent. So
someone else's agent.
I'm everybody's agent. One of these days, people are going to come to me.
So, Brett, you're lining up as a linebacker now, and you're playing the team you always wanted to play and line up against. Who would that be, and what stadium would that be in?
Again, I probably have to say. So I'm still in Linebacker, and I'm playing my favorite team.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the Aggies.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Mm-hmm.
So, Brett,
12th man.